Hello everybody, this is Bronislava from HandMadeRukodelky. Today's project is to knit a back of the baby jumper, and you need to watch video number 1 and finish the leg part for this jumper so you can continue with video number 2. In the last video I had 4 pieces that were identical. That we basically finished 10th row with the 10th repeat with the pattern, and after we did the first row of the 10th repeat of the pattern, we did also a purl row back, and all of them basically finished with the purl row back. Okay, so now we need to go and start knitting. And this piece is actually attached to my ball, so I will start knitting with my with this piece. Okay, I will continue knitting over here. Then I will add few stitches here, like I told you in the last video, because we do need that little bit of extra fabric for the diaper, for the crotch. Okay, and then we will continue knitting this row. Okay, and this is going to be our basically third row. So before we add some stitches right here, we will again start knitting the first stitch through the back loop, and now we will knit all of the stitches. Okay, all the way to the end. Finishing my row, and I am actually going to knit this last stitch also. Okay, so I basically knitted first stitch through the back loop and then knitted regularly all the way to the last stitch. We did not slip that stitch. Now that I am finished, we will do a knit cast on. To do our knit cast on, you need to turn it around and work on the wrong side, and it's like you would go and knit a stitch. So you insert the needle, you grab the yarn. If you're doing the continental style, you pull the yarn through and you put it back onto the stitch, onto the needle. Okay, you put the stitch onto the needle, and again you will put your needle through the stitch like you want to knit it. You knit it, actually you knit a knit stitch, and then you put it back onto the needle where you started, and we need to do 6 of these. So I have 1 and 2, and let me show it to you with English style. So you will insert your needle into the stitch that you put back onto your needle. You knit, you wrap the yarn around, you knit it, and you put it back. Okay, now you do the same thing. You put your needle in, wrap it around, you pull the yarn through, make a long loop, put it back on the needle, and then tighten it up a little bit. Don't tighten up too much. You need to put your needle through it. Okay, through the stitch again. So we have 4 of them now, and we will do 2 more. So this is 5th. Tighten it up a little bit, but enough, not too much, so you can put your needle through the stitch. And this is our 6th stitch, and we have 6 stitches. Now turn it around, and we will continue with the next piece, with the second piece that we will actually add onto this needle. So we don't need this needle anymore, and now we will knit with this needle. So we will take our piece that is not attached to any ball, yarn ball, okay, and we will just continue knitting the row. Okay, and this is going to be our knitting or working needle. So we will just start knitting in a normal way. Okay, and the very first stitch may get very loose because it's cut off, the yarn is cut off and it's not attached to anything, and so just keep knitting the row. Okay, or you can see it with English style. You just keep knitting, you know, just keep knitting this row. And then when I'm finished with this second piece, my last stitch I will slip. Okay, I will slip my last stitch, and then we will purl entire row. So we're finished with the entire row now. Oh, we need to slip this last stitch, so yarn forward and slip the last stitch. And now we will turn around. We will knit first stitch through the back loop. Let me do it English style. So through the back loop. Okay, just knit first stitch through the back loop, and now we will purl all the stitches. So I'm going to go bring the yarn forward and start purling. Purl every single stitch in this row. Purl all the stitches, okay? Let me continue my preferred style because I am kind of clumsy with English style, but I like to show it to people so they understand, because some of you cannot see how it's being done when it's being done in a continental style. We'll just knit, and then when I finish this row, we will repeat our pattern, those 4 rows. And here I am coming to my crotch area, to our diaper area. Okay, so we need to make sure that we don't knit 2 together here. So that's 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6. And then we just continue purling all stitches until we hit the last stitch, which we will slip. So I'm finished with my row. I purled all my stitches and slipped my last with the yarn in front. And now we are ready to do our pattern. Row 1 of the pattern stitch, okay, which is knit 3 together, yarn over and knit 3 together again, okay, and again 3 together, yarn over and 3 together. Okay, so now you basically will finish entire row the same way like we were doing in here and in here, with those 6 stitches in between. So we have 6 stitches here that we will do 3 and 3 in here. Okay, so it should like blend in seamlessly. And then you will again, when you will be purling, you will slip the first stitch and slip the last stitch on a purl side in a second row, and then you will knit and purl again, and then repeat this pattern again. Okay, so let me go and do finish this row and do my purl, knit and purl rows, those 3 rows, and I will show you how it looks. You see, I almost took it off. No, it has to stay on until I'm finished with my yarn over and knit 3 together again. Okay, don't forget that, because sometimes I do. So you need to pay attention to this row especially, otherwise you're gonna be missing stitches. If you would just knit this together and let go, you're gonna be missing 2 stitches. Okay, you cannot do that. You see how I put it back on? So if you forget, you need to put it back on and finish that stitch, those 3 together, and then yarn over and knit 3 together again. So I am finished with my row, and now I will purl my next row. I will purl this row, so I will slip the first stitch, purl all these until the last one and slip the last one. Then I will knit through the back loop, knit all these stitches until the last one that gets slipped. Okay, and then I will do the same thing with the purl, that I will knit first stitch through the back loop, purl all these stitches and slip the last stitch, and then I will be again ready to do my this row, this pattern row. Okay, the 3, knit 3 together, yarn over, knit 3 together, and I will continue several repeats like that. Okay, the whole back all the way to the shoulders. I will not decrease for armpits or anything. I'll just go straight up. I'll make it very simple on you. And also I wanted to go and say that if this needle is now too short, you may switch to a longer needles with the stopper on the end. Okay, to regular long needle. So this is how it looks so far. Okay, and so when I am all the way to my shoulders, I will let you know how many repeats I did, and I will basically show you how to do the decreasing for the shoulders. Hello again. I just wanted to explain a few things before I start showing you how to bind off for shoulders here and here. Okay, so this is not a baby, by the way. I'm not torturing any baby over here. It's a doll that represents about 3 months old baby, and as you see, this part reaches all the way to the neck area right before the shoulders. Okay, and from where I started here on the bottom with my first repeat, when I joined both pant, or leg parts, I did 17 repeats. Okay, and I'm ready to do my 18th repeat. And I wanted to show you, actually, it reaches from the middle over here between the legs of this doll all the way to this area here in the neck, and I still have a little bit for the shoulders. Just like I said, I have 17 repeats from this end to this end over here. Okay, and I'm going to do one more repeat, 18th repeat, but now what I will do is I will do those 3 togethers, yarn over 3 togethers, and repeat it all the way to the end, and then I will go and do one more purl back to the beginning over here, and then we will start binding off for our shoulders. Okay, so do first those 2 rows where you do knit 3 together, yarn over, and knit 3 together. Okay, do it all the way to the end, and then the second row purl. Okay, I finished my row with those repeats of 3 knit together, yarn over, 3 knit together. Okay, and we're ready to do our purl row. So you can do that on your own again. Okay, so I will first slip the first stitch, purl every single stitch all the way to the last stitch, and the last stitch I will again slip. I am now ready to decrease or basically bind off for the shoulders. Okay, and leave the stitches for the neck area on the needle. So this is how I am going to do it. I have 72 stitches over here. Okay, and I will take 22 stitches for one shoulder, 22 stitches for another shoulder, and then I will have 28 stitches for the neck area. Since I want to bind off for each shoulder 2 times, so that means that I will bind off 11 stitches here, 11 stitches on the way back, then 11 stitches here, and then 11 stitches over here on the back, and then I will end up with 28 stitches. Okay, so let's go and bind off stitches for 11 stitches for the shoulder area. Okay, so we knit first stitch through the back loop, as you noticed, then I knit second stitch, and this is my first bound off stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3. By the way, I do have a video how to bind off stitches. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and one more, 11. Now we will knit all the way to the end. 1. I knitted all the way to the end, and because I am now on my purl side, I will bind off with purling, and I will show it to you slowly because I never made a video how to purl and bind off at the same time. Okay, and of course that I slip my last stitch, so my first stitch I will knit through the back loop, okay, and now I will purl my stitch, and then I will pull the stitch over my purled stitch. Okay, that's 1, and again I will purl it and then bind it off by pulling the stitch over the purled stitch. Okay, and let me show it to you with the English style. So basically you will purl your stitch, and then you just go and take that stitch over the purled stitch. Okay, and then you purl the stitch and you pull that over the purled stitch. Okay, so that's easy, right? So this is my 4th stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, yep, and I still need to do how many? 7 more. I almost didn't bind off one stitch here, so that's my 5, so 6 more. 5, and this is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Now we will purl all the way to the end and slip the last stitch again, okay? Purl, don't bind off anymore. I almost bind off another one. So I am finished with purling to the end and slipping my last stitch, okay? And now we are ready again to bind off 11 stitches on the knit side. So again, knit first stitch through the back loop, and then knit next stitch, and then bind off by pulling that stitch over the knitted one, okay? And I will do this now fast. If you need to do it slowly, you can go and visit my other video. You can also slow it down in settings, in video settings. Okay, let me see, how many did I do? I forgot to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, yes, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and one more, and this is our 11th. Now we will knit all the way to the end. And again, I am at the end of my row. I finished knitting, and now we're on a purl side, and we need to bind off 11 more stitches and we will be done, okay? So again, knit first stitch through the back loop, purl next stitch, and pull the first stitch over the purled stitch, okay? And do this 10 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, and purl all the way to the end. Finish the row. Okay, here you see how it looks at the moment, okay, that everything is doing good. If your baby is not as tall, you can go and do one less. That means you would do 16 repeats, and then after 17th repeat you would do this, what I did over here, okay? So basically we are finished with the back, and then this is going to be added to the edge that is going to be going around with the front, okay? Front edge and back edge are going to be knitted together. I'll show it to you in another video, but right now this is exactly what we have, what we needed to do for our back of the jumper, okay? This is going to be part of our sleeve, so the sleeves we will be knitting are not gonna be as long. All right, that's it. So that's it for today. Again, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and I will see you when I am knitting my front. And front, actually, we will start the same way like the back, except we will not knit as much because we will have opening all the way down, and I will make it actually on the side. Okay? Well, anyway, so that's it. Thank you, and I will see you